What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. On the last part, we saw the arrival of a brand new villain, one that actually hasn't appeared in any of my scenarios before. The group fought Bojack and his crew. After joining the Galactic Patrol, they hunted him down and stopped him, and along the way, Kakarot seemed to unlock a brand new power. A more powerful version of Super Saiyan, and now he has a new power that he's trying to master. We'll see more of that in this video. For this part, let's hit a like goal of 3,500 likes. Once we hit that, I'll continue with another part of the series. Anyways, let's pick up from here. Following Bojack's defeat, the Saiyans return to the Galactic Patrol to heal. Everyone's proud of the Saiyans, and they're glad it worked out. And honestly, they weren't too sure if they could trust them, but these Saiyans do actually seem good, unlike other Saiyans that they've encountered in the past. These are the only 4 surviving ones after all, at least the only ones that they know of. So maybe that contributes to them being good now, or at least relative to how they were before. It's great too, even though the Saiyans are doing some good in the universe, it's not like they're changing who they are. They're still battle-loving warriors, and they keep getting stronger along the way. And they feel pretty good about all this. They're free from Frieza, and they can do whatever they want. They're thanked for their work, although the Galactic Patrol would prefer if they brought back the criminals alive. Although they understand the Saiyans didn't really have a choice. I mean, Bojack was too big of a threat. As the Saiyans heal up and get stronger, Kakarot begins trying to work towards this power once more. They just call it Super Saiyan 2. They're not really too sure what else to call it. And he's pretty content right now. Not only does he have this new power to access, but the group's back to normal. Everyone's back together, and they're being healed. There's no Frieza to worry about, no Bojack, nothing like that. The rest of the group even joins Kakarot in his training too, although he's definitely ahead of them. He already knows what Super Saiyan 2 feels like, and he could probably try and tap into that power again, which he does so eventually. This will help everyone else train towards it, and he basically acts as their Super Saiyan 2 coach. And for the time being, they remain with the Galactic Patrol. In all honesty, Jocko's hoping they'll join eventually. I mean, it's kinda doubtful and he keeps trying to convince them, but hey, it's at least worth a shot. They would be really good on the Galactic Patrol. Maybe even a better patrolman than him. Nah, that's not possible. But really though, they're pretty fond of the Saiyans now. They stopped one of the biggest threats ever to the Galactic Patrol. They couldn't handle Bojack and his crew alone, so the Saiyans are basically getting MVP treatment. By now, the Saiyans have long abandoned their use of scouters. They sometimes use it for contact purposes, but in terms of power sensing, they don't use it anymore. Although, they noticed one day that their scouter's beeping, which is weird. Someone's trying to contact them, but who has a way of contacting them? No one uses scouters anymore, so who even has one to contact them with? And then they remember, wait, they left one on Earth in case the Earthlings needed it. And sure enough, once they hop on the scouter, Krillin's on the other end of the line. They're expecting some bad news, but it's just something weird that Krillin noticed. He says hi to them and explains the situation. There's some weird spaceship that showed up on Earth, and he's not too sure what it is. Is it something good, or is it bad? He doesn't know, but he sends them a video feed of it. He wonders if the Saiyans know anything about it, with them being aliens and all. And they don't actually recognize this ship. Krillin was just flying by one day, and he happened to notice it, and thankfully it doesn't seem like anyone aboard that ship noticed him, in the event that they're actually a threat. So, they decide to show Jocko, as well as some other patrolmen, and after doing some research on it, they find out something pretty terrifying. It actually belongs to Bobbidi, an evil wizard that's probably trying to revive Majin Buu. They've known about Bobbidi and Buu, but now Bobbidi's here, so they assume he's trying to do the same thing with Buu. Obviously the Saiyans and Krillin don't know who that is. And Jocko's not too knowledgeable on it either, but he knows that it's probably bad news if it's in the Galactic Patrol's files. They're gonna look into it more, but in the meantime, they're also gonna head to Earth. So they tell Krillin to just wait it out for now. And don't do anything with the ship. They hang up and Krillin's actually kind of nervous now. Oh no, this might actually be a big issue. He doesn't know what to do now. It's a good thing that the ship didn't notice him yet. At least, he assumed so. He just happened to fly by it. And he's already told Roshi and Tenshinhan about it. So, he returns to Kame House and meets up with them. Whatever this is, it must be bad news. He fills the other two in on what happened, and tells them the Saiyans are coming along with some people called the Galactic Patrol. Of course, neither of them know what the Galactic Patrol is, but it sounds like some pretty big organization, and they know this is probably some big deal. Although it's probably not a good idea to panic either, even if this is a big deal. Again, the Galactic Patrol is going to help them, as well as the Saiyans. Suddenly, Tenshinhan senses something nearby. It's Kami. Why is he here? He walks into the house and greets everyone, and he tells them there's some visitors on Earth that are going to arrive soon. He was able to detect some godly presence, and they're probably about to arrive at the house any moment. And these two presences are way higher up than from where Kami is. He's just as nervous as them, but he just wanted to give them a heads up. Krillin's only getting more and more anxious. They must have stumbled upon something big, and he doesn't really want to deal with it. This threat seems way bigger than them if gods are getting involved. And alien police from across the universe. 2 people arrive at Kame House, and Kami kneels as he greets them. It's the Supreme Kai and his attendant. The humans have no idea what's going on since this all happened so fast, so they just kneel too, expecting this to be some big deal. They tell everyone not to worry, they're here to help, and they're gods. Shin could tell they're worried because he could read their minds. But they explain what's happening and what ship they found. They've been watching over Earth for a while, and knew that Bobbidi was going to show up eventually. They then sensed a bunch of energies heading towards Earth, which was the Galactic Patrol, and they realized that something must have been going on. They wanted to make sure Earth was okay, and it turns out they stumbled upon Bobbidi's ship. And they asked the humans about anything they know. Krillin tells them the location of it and the ship that he found, and they confirm that it definitely is Bobbidi indeed. Of course, they have no idea who Bobbidi is or why he's here, so Shin explains. They would go and stop him right now, but that might be an issue. He does have Dabura there, an incredibly strong minion of his. Even if all the humans jumped in to help, and if the gods fought too, it might be a little bit too risky, so it's a good thing they call the Galactic Patrol here. Krillin says it should be okay. The Galactic Patrol has some Saiyans with them, and this actually surprises Shin. Wait, Saiyans? They're still alive? Oh, he knows what Krillin must be talking about. He knew of some Saiyans that killed Frieza, the apparent last survivors of the Saiyan race. It must be those guys, and if they killed Frieza, maybe they're good guys. It still is a bit nerve-wracking to have Saiyans come here, but Krillin says that they're good guys. He's met them before, as well as Tenshinhan and Roshi. Kami confirms this too. He watched over the entire time they were here, and he knows they're not bad guys. Sure, in a former life they were, but it seems they've turned a new leaf. Whatever this Bobbidi, Dabura, and Boo threat is, the Earthlings, the Saiyans, and the Galactic Patrol will stop it. Some time passes and eventually some ships land on Earth. It's a couple Galactic Patrol soldiers, including Jaco, and another one has the Saiyans aboard. Krillin, Tenshinhan, and Roshi are glad to see them again. It's a good thing they answered the call. They weren't sure if that scouter thing was going to work. The Galactic Patrol also meets Shin and Kibito, with the Saiyans equally as surprised to see these gods here. They weren't even aware of the god hierarchy being this high, but these two must be a pretty big deal. Shin tells them this is good. Not only did they find Bobbidi, but they're going to stop him preemptively. He's probably not even prepared yet. He was most likely laying low to try and strike later. But since Krillin happened to stumble upon them early on, this is good. They'll be able to stop him and they'll probably prevent Majin Buu's revival. Although there is one issue. It seems they have too many people trying to fight. They can't have that many people going over there because that'll just mean more energy for Bobbidi to steal. Yeah, that's the thing. He steals people's energy and he's going to use that to revive Buu. And with that many people there trying to fight him, it's just going to make things worse if anything. It's best to only bring their strongest fighters. They could regulate their power better, and they'll be able to defeat Bobbidi and Dabura faster. The patrolmen on Earth decide to head back into space, orbiting around Earth. Even if they can't be here, they're going to make sure everything goes okay. Although Jaco does stay with the Saiyans. Kami also stepped up to formally introduce himself to everyone again. He wanted to personally thank them for helping out Earth. And the Saiyans realize who this is. He's a Namekian. He is the one who created the Dragon Balls here. They never really got to formally thank him either, specifically Kakarot. Without Kami having created the Dragon Balls, Raditz would be dead, and likely all the other Saiyans. And with them being dead, Frieza would be around destroying the universe. Maybe even cooler. They'll tell Krillin and the other humans about that later. But now, they're prepared to fight Bobbidi's group. They fly over to the ship, trying to lay low as they watch from nearby. And this time, they actually see someone outside of the ship. And Shin says this is a bad sign. The person standing outside is Dabura, which means they probably know people are watching them. But before they can even react, Dabura then launches over to them, making a split-second decision. He only has one shot at this, so he needs a surprise attack to count. And thankfully he's already picked out the strongest fighter there. Being able to sense his energy, he can tell that Kakarot's the strongest. He uses this opportunity to spit on him, and the group then watches in horror as Kakarot turns into stone. Dabura had only one shot at this. Now that he used this technique, everyone knows they need to avoid it, although he did get the strongest person turned into stone, so this is really going to help them. Shin tells them there's only one way to restore Kakarot. He can be restored, but it's going to be pretty hard. They need to kill Dabura. But they also need to remember, they can't give off too much energy. If they do, Majin Buu might be revived. He also has another piece of good intel. Dabura is their strongest fighter. Everyone else is pretty weak in comparison. Bobbidi himself is a strong magician, but physically he's pretty weak, and his other minions seem weak as well. That decides it then. The humans fly towards the ship to take care of Bobbidi's other minions, while the Saiyans remain here to fight Dabura. Dabura is pretty amused. Not only are Shin and Kibito here, but 3 Saiyans. They called in this many people just to fight him. And it seems their strongest has been turned to stone. He's feeling confident. He has the advantage right now, or so it seems. Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz all power up into Super Saiyan, amazing Shin and Kibito. And those two don't just stand by either, they jump into the battle too. Jaco's there kind of panicked, not knowing what to do, but he'll be there giving motivational support. Actually, you know what, now that he thinks about it, he's gonna go tag along with the humans, so he wishes them luck and runs away. And even with all of them together, it seems they're having a tough time beating Dabura. From what they could tell, this guy might actually be as strong as Bojack. No wait, even a little bit stronger maybe. They have gotten stronger themselves, thanks to them being healed, but still, they're down by one Saiyan. Dabura is actually pretty skilled as well. He has some interesting different abilities that they haven't really encountered before. Not to mention, his physical strength is pretty impressive too. This will definitely be a tough battle, especially without Kakarot there helping them. Meanwhile, the humans have defeated Pui and are moving on to Yakon. They find out pretty quickly that he absorbs light, so all they need to do is just avoid using light in their attacks. It's pretty simple, and this guy isn't physically too strong. Jocko then comes in and joins the fight, throwing a net over Yakon that catches him. Even in the dark, his great eyesight is helpful. He's able to pick out Yakon and stop him, and that pretty much puts an end to that fight. But now, they need to find Bobbidi somehow. The fight with Dabura continues outside the ship. He still has the advantage and the Saiyans aren't sure what to do. They have dealt some damage to him, but he's not even really focused on the Saiyans. He's trying to kill the Kais first, and they realize that they actually have to protect those two. They're not as strong as they seemed. They're still powerful, but not as powerful as them. And that just complicates things even further. Not only are they trying to fight this guy, but they're trying to bodyguard the Kais. Dabura chuckles and begins taunting them. They really think they're going to save their friend by killing him. There's no way these people are going to kill him. It's kind of funny. They seem so set on saving that other guy from his stone prison. Why not mess with them a bit? Dabura turns to the statue of Kakarot. He lifts up a single hand and charges a powerful blast. He'll just kill this guy so he doesn't have to worry about him later. The group tries to stop him, but it's too late. Dabura launches the blast, and everyone rushes over, but they're not quick enough. Except for one person. As they fly over to stop the blast, Raditz suddenly gets a huge increase in speed, rocketing past everyone, jumping right in front of the blast and defending against it. He does take a direct hit from it, and Dabura chuckles. There's no way he could have survived that. But his smirk drops. He sees Raditz standing there, still alive. A bit injured, but also looking a bit different. As he stands in front of the statue of his brother, everyone looks on. His hair is spikier. He has sparks of electricity around him. This is the same thing that Kakarot was using before. Raditz has unlocked Super Saiyan 2, and he's pissed. Immediately he faces Dabura one-on-one, with the rest of the group joining in. Raditz isn't playing around either. He's going to stop this right away. Dabura receives a powerful knee to his gut, with Raditz then elbowing him on the head, jumping over Dabura and then pummeling him into the ground. In each hand he charges 2 purple beams, launching a signature weekend attack at him. The rest of the group joins in with their own blast, trying to help Raditz. And just like that, Dabura is defeated. Kakarot returns back to normal, asking what happened. But they'll explain later. Dabura is defeated, and now all they need to do is help the humans find Bobbidi. They jump into the ship, flying past the first floor seeing the remains of Pui. They descend lower and fly past Yakon, who's still in his cage. They descend lower and lower into the ship, and eventually find Bobbidi. He's surrounded by a giant barrier, and the humans and Jocko are trying to get to him. But Bobbidi keeps creating barriers. They're not able to break them or attack Bobbidi. And to everyone's surprise, the Saiyans then burst in. And without even thinking, Nappa runs over to Bobbidi with a Bomber DX charge in his hand, throwing it at the wizard, breaking all the shields and killing him. Thankfully, Bobbidi didn't even have nearly enough energy to revive Boo. So not only did they stop Bobbidi's crew, but they stopped Boo from being revived. The Earthlings thank the Saiyans, Kais, and Jocko. They're all welcome to stay here if they want. Even better, as a reward, why not throw a feast? The Saiyans do love to eat after all, and during this feast, they all catch up. The Saiyans tell the Earthlings about what's happened so far, telling them about Frieza, Cooler, and Bojack, and how they ended up joining the Galactic Patrol, at least temporarily. Although, they're still considering if they should stay or not. I mean, it might be nice. It'll be a new job, it'll be kind of like their old one, except they'll be doing good in the universe instead of bad. And they'll still constantly be able to fight, getting stronger along the way. With Kakarot saying all this, Krillin actually encourages them. He says maybe they should do it. It seems like it's something they like, and they've already done a lot of good stuff with it. Not to mention it comes with a lot of cool perks. It's interesting. Despite all the changes here, they still become friends somehow, Kakarot and Krillin. As for Majin Buu's egg, Shin and Kibito dispose of it, taking it back to their planet to try and make sure it's safe. And it seems that all the threats in the universe are gone now. Well, for the time being. Of course, this isn't where the story ends. Even with Frieza, Cooler, Bojack, and Boo gone, this isn't even close to the last time that we'll see Kakarot and his group. For the time being, they return back to the Galactic Patrol. And interestingly enough, it seems they actually have some new recruits. Besides just the Saiyans, there's other people joining. Jocko says they've had some pretty strong people join, specifically one who is really strong. He tells the Saiyans they'll definitely enjoy their time here. And they're excited to meet this new strong recruit, as well as whatever else the Galactic Patrol has in store for them. And with that, we'll leave off here for now. So, what did you guys think about this part, and what do you think is going to happen next time? Leave any thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. And let's try to hit that like goal from the beginning of the video so we can get another part of this series. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon and get notified about any future parts of this What If, or any other videos that I upload on my channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.